I'd really only met Julian a handful of times before he left for South America. We knew each other mainly through the music industry and mutual friends. We occasionally spoke at parties. I'd seen his band, The Acceptables, play a few times during the tour for their debut album, Artificial Beaches on Every Mountain, Artificial Mountains on Every Beach, and written them a good review. Mostly I knew about Julian in relation to Oriana and their on-again, off-again thing. I'd gone to school with Oriana Devereaux. We were close as kids. She came as Peter Pan to my 10th birthday party, and I went as a minion to hers. She was the coolest girl I ever knew. I never understood what she liked about Julian. But through the ages, the task has often fallen to good people, sidelined by history, to tell the stories of those lifted up by dumb luck and circumstance. And thus, the task of telling this story, the story of Julian Ferryman, of the Acceptable sophomore album, of the ill-fated first annual International Chronophenomenology Summit, of the fate of the Federal Republic of East Australia, and of the Motherfucker Manifesto, falls to me. There's a house party the day after Julian gets home. Red beer cups and a tub full of ice. Parquetry floors, a patchwork of sticky sneaker soles. Hair ties on doorknobs and a spiked punch bowl. Xander's little brother saying, "The women in my head have started to act like porn stars." This is the dickhead Julian didn't want sitting in for him on the new album, and I'm sure you can see why. "I blame Oznet," he goes on, and a few heads bob in rueful agreement. "Before Oznet," he says, "you had unlimited choice in the pornographic market, and that meant you had the ability to cleanse your palate and temper your darker urges with something more tame and respectable. Have a salad with your steak. But now, with Oznet, the only stuff you get under the counter is what smugglers and black market weirdos think guys like us like. And I can tell you, they clearly have a pretty low opinion of us as consumers. I'm talking some of the nastiest, most twisted fucking stuff I've ever seen. I mean, I used to dig around, sure. I explored the four corners of the free net while I could to calibrate my tastes, and I did so successfully. Whereas now, all that's available to me is one singular corner, the corner where I used to go if I was feeling really, what's the word? Impure, maybe? Something along those lines. The pirated shit you get these days, man, everything's forced. Forced blowjobs, forced anal, skull fucking. Like, you can't even refer to a person by their skin anymore. They want you to fuck a skeleton. It makes me sick. But hey, what am I going to do?" One of Xander's little brother's even younger friends chips in. "Just don't look at that shit, man, if it's so horrible.